So welcome everyone to our Monday morning Global Heart Resonance call. And I'm Shelley Darling, and here as holding the space for good of the whole and this field of resonance, along with June Steiner, one of our resonance mentors, and many of you who are on here as well. Julie Krall, co-founder of Good of the Whole, and so many of the others. So welcome this morning. We are been noticing some technological challenges, and we embrace them. And that's really part of the call here this morning, is really embracing fully the field as it's moving through us and as it really supports us in the sense of presence. So this morning, our resonance reflection is Sacred Soul Economy. But first, on this call, we'll open with some resonance. And actually, we're going to let Julie Krall share a little bit about Good of the Whole, a few moments, and then we'll open the call with some resonance. So Julie, if you want to just share a little bit about what people are stepping into, those people that are new.
Thank you. Good of the Whole is what we call an organism, not an organization. And another metaphor for organism that we use often is a mothership, where literally we're individual beings out in the world, and we can come in and really plug into that docking station, connect, feel that resonance, recharge our batteries, be well fed and nourished, communicate in and receive back, and then go out into the world. And so this resonance call is one way of us plugging in and really feeling that resonance. So I'll just close and keep it brief by just also saying that Good of the Whole is about the ethos of wholeness, that we are whole beings in service of and contributing to a greater whole. And it's that simple. It's remembering that. And remembering that in a lot of different ways and a lot of different expressions out in the world through our individual work. So feel free to come over and join us. We're moving out of the egocentric way of being and into a soul-centric or whole-centric way of being together. With that, I'll turn it back to Shelley.
Beautiful. So let's just take a breath with that sense of being, that sense of wholeness, and we invite you to just relax, open, be at this inner oasis as we listen to June create the field for us to step into this morning.
So I've got a little wand here of crystalline shape, so I'll use that as we do our going inside.
Hold on, June. There is a drum beat happening.
Yeah, there is. I'm hearing it all the time. I have no idea why. It just keeps up.
Is it coming from? It can't be coming from Henry. Okay, so everyone just have a sense of humor here.
Yeah. Let's pretend we're on a drum journey, and we're going to go very deep in the drum journey. I don't know what to do.
Okay, wait, June.
Sometimes something may be leaning on one of the
keys.
Computer.
Right. Yeah, is anything leaning?
Nothing touched me.
Or your keyboard. No? Okay.
That's it. You are brilliant, Henry.
Oh, I love it.
So we begin again. Anyway, let's take the crystalline talking stick and put it on our heart. And just take a nice deep breath. Focus on your heart. And imagine for a moment that your heart is your sun. And that as your love energy moves out from your heart through every cell, through every artery, vein, that each one of those is like the ray of the sun, moving out into the world, out into everything that we do, everything that we love, everything that we hold dear. Moving out to every challenge, every opportunity. And as the sun beams its energy out to all of us, its energy of love, inclusiveness, abundance, it's us radiate out from our hearts all of those assets, all of those wonderful ways of showing our love, our respect, our deep abundance on all levels of our being. And as we join our love, our beings with that of the sun, imagine that energy going out throughout every speck of this universe and beyond. Each ray, one of us, each ray, a piece of nature, each ray radiating its love throughout the universe and throughout each of us, our own internal universe. And knowing that our love is what creates the abundance of life in all its forms. Just feel that radiating from you, from us, from the sun. Let it sink deep into our souls. And then very slowly, just bring yourself back into your own heart. Bring yourself back into our circle. Bring yourself back with your love, ready to open to the day and to share that love. Aho.
Boy, all you can say is yes. Yes to that. And so this morning, this is the invitation for those who are with us, who might be new. For people on the phone, we just invite everyone, as this is a participatory call, to really speak to the essence of what was being shared by June. Speak to this wholeness. Speak as this wholeness. What's moving you as, as a collective being, as a being in the field itself, and to embrace the pauses that might happen on this call. That those are the moments where we're being infused with information, and that you can actually feel yourself expanding. A lot of times there are epiphanies that happen within that space, so we really love the pauses. And to conjoin your ray with everyone else's. Just listen for that impulse to speak when it's your turn. We really together here are weaving this tapestry of love, connection, greater mindfulness. But we're really learning how to track what is emerging here this morning. Allow it to fill us, that organism, as Julie was sharing, that it has a voice. And when we attune to that, we become really aligned with the evolution of consciousness as it's moving. So with that, we'll begin with a focal point of sacred soul economy, and invite you to just continue breathing and staying in that deep connection and flow. This morning, usually the topics aren't so long, and this is pretty long, but I'm going to filter my way through it this morning. And we'll just tap into those veins of information. A vein runs through the spiritual tradition that says that we too give back to the sun. Indeed, that sun only continues to shine through our gratitude. Ancient sun rituals weren't only to thank the sun, they were to keep it shining. Solar energy is the light of earthly love reflected back at us. Here too, the circle of the gift operates. Could it be that as we step into the abundance mentality and the generosity of the connected self, the self that connects I and thou through love, that the sun will shine more brightly? The new suns, new sources of the infinite generosity of the universe will become available to us, reflecting back our love. We are born into gratitude. It is our primal response to the gift of life itself. Ultimately, the sacred soul economics is a part of the healing of the spirit-matter divide, the human nature divide, and the artwork divide that has increasingly defined our civilization for thousands of years. Now it remains to recover that wholeness and bring it to a new realm, to create with life, beauty, and soul that which the old masters created. Let us insist on nothing else. For what purpose have our forebears sacrificed, if not create a beautiful world? There is no object too insignificant to merit our care, our reverence, and our effort to make it right. We will seek and are already seeking to embed all things in wholeness. No matter what systems we have, it does not induce or allow that induce this kind of creative process, that we are choosing a new sacred soul economy. We're laying the social and psychic foundation of an economy in which more and more of the things we make and do for each other are beautiful, personal, alive, and souled. I love that word. So with that, just inviting people to put yourself on mute. If you aren't speaking, speak to the whole. Say your name for the people that are on the phone, and we give space for the people that are on the phone that they can take themselves off mute and share into this field as well. So with that, we connect and open with a beautiful sharing. So just grab the talking stick, which I'm placing in the middle, this virtual talking stick, or some people like to say crystal feather, whatever works for you. So we're complete. Just unmute yourself.
Hi, it's June again. I was thinking this morning, between this morning's call and just our call now, and I realized that over the last couple of days, I've added solar lights outside in the patio. I had put them up around on our back deck, but I decided to put them around our patio, and I'm thinking, what actually is this? And I'm thinking, this is technology that has allowed us to take the energy of the sun. And if we think of it as our solar economy right now, we're taking in the warmth, the love, and the light from the sun. And then when the sun is resting or is in some other place, that light shines out and gives our love back to us, all those things that the sun provides for us. We have collected through our solar techniques, and then we shine again at night. And it's just a reflection, a thought I had of how wonderful the reciprocal of the giving and the receiving, and being able to live in the love and the light at all the time. So it's just a thought that came into mind. So I'm complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is Joey. I just lost you. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try again. This is Joey. I'm listed here as 44. I don't know why.
Joey, you just put yourself on mute.
I know. I evidently have 2 mutes. I can't get on. How's that? Yay! Did it. With this topic, I'm taking it into some of the experiences I have had this week, just this past week. One of them was I suddenly found myself dropping into an old struggle based around my daughter and my sister. And as I felt myself sinking into it and starting to do the work of pulling the different properties out of the struggle, I suddenly went, no, I don't have to do it this way anymore. And what I choose is to allow myself to come out of duality and go into unity and go into oneness. And for me, this was a really deep soul choice to get it first and not go all crazy with that issue that I've massaged over and over and over and over. And I felt really good about that. And when I did it, when I actually chose to go to the light and come out of duality, it was gone. I never have thought about it since then, nor even after I did it. So to me, it was such a wonderful confirmation of where we all are in our consciousness, that we just don't have to do the duality anymore. We don't have to do the old programming. We don't have to do the old processing, and just choose to go to the light. And the other thing happened just this morning. It's a long story. I won't bore you with that, but I live in an assisted living facility with about 120 other people that are mostly older than me. And we are discovering slowly as a community that the corporation that owns this facility is using our monthly rent to make money, which is their prerogative. That's what they're there to do. But when they have on their website attracting buyers or attracting backers or stockholders, their verbiage is, we know how to get to the bottom line. We know how to cut corners. We know how to do this and that. And we're experiencing that as the residents. We're experiencing how the corners are being cut. The issue today was around a letter that was written voicing our concerns about someone who had applied to be our new activity director, which we have not had a good activity director for 5 years. And this is kind of true across all of the different areas that are part of this facility. So my warrior got in on it, and I wrote the letter with some help, input from other people. And we asked people to read the letter, and if they felt compatible with it, to give their signature. The letter was basically about our concern that we have not had a voice in the choices of what goes on. As I went to give the letter, and it was addressed to both the management of our facility as well as the upper management. And as I went to give the letter to the administrator this morning. I didn't even have a chance to say anything, and she came rushing out and attacking me and said, Joey, you're just going to have to stop doing this petition. And I said, it's not a petition. Well, I said, Lee, you are attacking me for something that other people have said. You haven't even asked me what this is about. Now, in the past, I would have gotten all defensive, but I was able to maintain my integrity to our purpose. Then she went into saying, well, it's not going to make any difference. Upper management, they don't care. I said, we care as residents that we have an opportunity to give our voice. And it went on. And when I gave it to her and she just turned around and walked away, I went in to have lunch in the dining room. And I was really pleased to see that I had not let this consume me as it would have in the past. I was really pleased to see that I still had some surface nervousness about it, but again, I don't have to take it in as deep as I had before. And to me, when we can recognize that we are in a new reality already, and we don't have to participate the old way, we're putting that energy into the universe. And we're putting that energy there so everyone has that energy available to them if they choose to go there. So this is what I want to say this morning, and I thank you for listening. I'm complete.
This is Shelley. I'm going to follow that thread and as we tap into this sacred soul economy and really hold that sense of beauty and neutrality, I feel like what's happening is that we have this opportunity to really see with the light of our heart, with the sun of our heart, as June was sharing earlier, this reciprocity that happens. And we're learning how to do that. We're learning how to find that deeper sense of beauty and presence. And that's the exchange rate. That's it. That piece is really kind of nudging me, like to understand this relationship that I have with another, or be it in a place that I'm living with a group of people, or be it that I'm in a circle and something triggers me. In a group that this morning that happened, friend landlord came in and she's been going to this Monday gathering every morning, and it wasn't going her way. And how do we really understand this relationship? Because to me, economy is that, you think of echo, that relationship with all, and that love that's presiding. How do we maintain and really allow the sunlight to permeate every experience, seeing that we're each, I think it's Nancy. I'm hearing Nancy Chaconis in my head. The reunion of these are lights, right? To really allow that light to shine for that grid of connection to grow. And it's tricky when we're experiencing things that, where we aren't feeling the social justice, because that's a part of it as well. So I'm just really, loving the sense of, understanding that we have an opportunity to come into deep relationship. June this morning was talking about Findhorn, and really what was the underlying consciousness of that was to hold that love, gratitude, respect for not only every person, but plants, all the relations, and understanding all tools and holding that level of gratitude. And with that, I pass the talking stick back into the center. And just the invitation again is just to speak 1 to 2 minutes and keep allowing that flow, that tapestry to grow. Thank you. I'm complete.
Shelley, I would like to mute. Can you hear me? Okay. I just wanted to really thank you for your words and your presence, and can feel the field within. And I wanted also to follow what June was really saying, and the feel I had when she was speaking was wonderful. And the sense of being the radiant, not radiance, something that goes out from you, but literally the radiant that from which all light emanates. What is it to hold that still point and allow all light to emanate? And I was brought to mind the movie The Dark Crystal many, many years ago. Good, you remember? In a synopsis, I can recall all the details, but the dark crystal was the 12, I believe, crystals. There was a dark crystal that was missing and needed to be returned in order for the duality to be reunited, and the creatures, inhabitants of the world, then could evolve to a higher form. And so the dark crystal was returned. And I was feeling from what June was saying, this dark crystal, that's the place that welcomes in the light. The radiant of the sun. What is it to welcome in the light of the sun as the radiant one? So in the electric universe theory, the universe is electric, and the stars are points, node points on this electric currency that's flowing into us. And I once spoke to Dr. Wal Thornhill, who is the leading proponent of and physicist on this project, and I said, well, if that's so, and our current idea of star formation means we don't have 5 billion years. In fact, in an electric currency, it could blink out at any time. And he said, yes, that's so. We just don't like to emphasize that point. But if that's so, you see, what I wondered is how can we receive the light that is within our heart to receive? So the sun is a fractal pattern of the universe. So we receive the light of the universe as one star, of which we are a fractal pattern within a greater star field. And we hold that template of one heart and receive the light that emanates from within. And I am complete.
This is Henry. I'd like to follow that. A couple of things that have come up for me. First, I did a talk yesterday, and I'm having a circle tomorrow on the theme of opening doorways to the new. And one of the ideas, I didn't share it yesterday, but is from the line or the phrase, "Behold, I make all things new." And so one of the thoughts or ideas or possibilities was me or sharing a circle. In what ways do you make all things new? Or in what ways are we able to open to that possibility, since we have that radiant one within us, that at each moment we can actually make all things new? So it's just kind of that inquiry, or even to what Joey shared, that when we take steps in new ways to respond, we are making all things new. Or when we recreate, when we do recreation, when we play, we are making all things new. Or I feel after my morning shower that all of a sudden, there is kind of a newness of energy or a breath or an attunement, like shared before, where we're making all things new. And the second piece that I wanted to share, and it seems related to the new economy or the new currency, and the word current, the electrical current and the currency, maybe there is a connection, but I kind of picked that up with the last sharing. And a final thing that I think I've expressed before here is also the idea that it is in receiving that we give. So what I was noticing in this circle here is that, our listening, we are receiving, we are opening to the field, we're opening to the sharing. And also when we're sharing, when we're speaking, we are also opening to receive as we are sharing. So actually the receiving part is almost more dominant than the giving part, in that as we become the individual rays or the radiant one, but we're kind of receiving from where that initial spark, that electric spark is coming from. And so we're in tune, we're creating an economy in this circle here of giving and receiving, which I guess we're opening to a reflection of that. So the artist, the art that is within each of us is able to shine, is able to be the radiant one, is able to be the radiance, and is able to be the dark crystal, the receiver. And we're all of those things at the same time. So we're opening to this, we are being the new economy right here. So I feel complete.
I'll jump in here and follow that thread as we're in this new economy, because I felt to pick up and move in this process of receiving. literally where I was and still where I'm at right now. I feel like closing my eyes is so bright outside. Yesterday on April Fool's Day, we received over 7 inches of snow. And everything is so blanketed and white outside. And it's not sunny. It's kind of cloudy and overcast. And yet the sun reflecting off all this white is so bright that I just want to close my eyes and just receive and just take that in. And just thinking about that currency and how sometimes that piece is an important piece of reminding us to literally, we're not in this time and space, we're not in this third dimension. How do we just receive and really move into these, who we really be and remember? So anyway, this brightness, this currency that's flowing, I'm feeling it multidimensionally, not just this bright reflection of the no sun reflecting off that white snow, and trusting in this moment. I have no idea what I'm saying, and it doesn't have to make any sense. Just I had to share because I had to move, and I'm still needing to just close my eyes and go within. So anyway, nice to be here with all of you. And if I'm closing my eyes and not listening to you, it's not you or what you're saying. It's really in that receivership and dimming your brightness so that I can receive even greater blessings. So with that, I'm complete.
Hello, everyone. This is Dinama, and I am closing my eyes and going within. It was quite a full-on Passover, Easter, April Fool's weekend, and I jumped in with all feet and really was active. And it does feel so good to just be in the stillness. That's what I feel. The world is a reflection of me. And that is a core piece that I continue to receive and recognize in the event horizon of experience, as I like to call it. So what am I saying to myself in the reflection of experience? And what is continually coming to me is be still and know. And this is where I intention to be in each moment, and really holding the truth of the ground of my being, that I am the light, and I am reflecting that which I feel and know in the stillness, and holding that place of neutrality, which seems to be in the thread of what we're speaking today. To love, to shine the light on whatever it is that is showing up in a sacred relationship, and feeling the power of that. Even when someone's in our face saying, you're this and that, and I don't like the other, and you got to be whatever it is that's perceived opposition, it's really an opportunity to hold that stillness and the power of knowing and to simply emanate that into the moment and receive the power of that in my own heart. So I'm complete.
Hi, this is Deborah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi,
Oh,
Deborah.
good. Hi. I really appreciate this sharing today. And have had a similar experience as Joey in terms of old patterns arising last week. And finding a way to connect to source and unity and doing it a different way. I'm outside under a poplar tree with the sun shining through and in the desert breezes. And I guess I'm just in such a deep state of appreciation and gratitude. And I find that that assists me in contacting the oneness in which I move and live and express more of the totality of my being. And I just really appreciate everyone's words so much that I am complete.
This is Oriana, and I am the sacred dark. They're all deep sacred, infinite still. To infinite still, movement is a miracle. Just before there is life, where life is non-existent, it is the sacred dark that yearns for a miracle and receives the light. Holding it in a template that unfurls in time. Every seed begins in darkness. It's the return of the dark crystal that holds the template of unfurling life in a rhythm with the universe, unfurling to a higher form. evolving life. Life, evolving life. And I am complete.
Those beautiful words led me to look at abundance again from another place, and that is the abundance of all things, dark and light. And I don't know if you can see this; it's very heavy, but this is a beautiful dark crystal that I have in my office. And what I love about it is that it's a very, very dark crystal everywhere, but right there in the front, it has the white crystal that is sitting on it. And what that helps me to understand is that there's such abundance in all things, including all of what we think of, or I think of as dark things, that it's that place within me that I have not necessarily yet been able to shine the light, to find the jewels in the dark, to find the challenges that I can overcome, that I can find the deep love that I have maybe not yet been able to express or reveal. But that there's no less deep abundance in that, and that part of who I am or who any of us are. And so the dark crystal for me, I have several of them around the house, and I use them in my work with people, that because it shows us the richness of who we are, that we can bring that light to and reveal to ourselves as much as to anyone else. That deep, deep love that if we apply it to all those places within ourselves, the darkness is like the light. It's all one, and it's all a very important part of us. If we can't separate the light and the dark, they are one, and they radiate together. So I'm complete. Thanks.
This is Henry. So it came to mind, the past two sharings is within the seed beneath the earth, there is the spark of light, of life, of the impulse to life, and the impulse to life more abundantly. That seeds that's within each of us in the dark space of the silence, the stillness, that we feed when we come together in a circle of resonance like this. It's a spark of the possible. It's a spark that contains the yearning. It's the spark that creates the fuller potential unfoldment. So I feel complete. Actually, I have to leave. I have to head out now. So, blessings to everyone.
Breathing with that, I just really would love to follow up on this thread that's been moving over several shares here. And I had this vision. I was seeing the images of how when plants grow a new leaf, I'm just going to say this darkness, this energy, this impulse of creation, the dark crystal, all these yummy yummy words and language and what we're using with imagery is that literally, energetically, what happens with the plant is that the impulse of creation shoots this template forward in the unseen world, and then the leaf comes through that template and comes into full form. And I just love that image. I'm just in gratitude and awe for the words that are weaving this thread together, because it really helps me to see what my vocational impulse really is to be that dark energy that moves from the impulse of the impulse of creation before creation gets there. And literally to be that, to set that into motion and to create that template and to hold that form, even in the unseen world before the form arrives, but trusting that the form is arriving, trusting that the light will fill that in, and trusting that it's made complete. So I this morning had to do this short video on the why of what I do. And so I was already in this place of contemplating that and had that video made. But thank you for this lineage of vocabulary that's coming through in this yummy space, because that just made things more complete for me. And with that, I am complete.
And with that, I would thank you, Julie, and want to follow and just very quickly share that languaging what this is the challenge, because it's a non-linear languaging of the universal impulse that we're all feeling and pointing towards, and trying to sort out the best way to show each other where it is and what it feels. But it is a feel, and that's the most important thing. We talk about the field, but then we talk about it rather than really immersing into it. And that's what I feel that the resonance that we all have is, let's all immerse into it. And I was sensing the originating life that evolves life, which is like the butterfly that is present in the caterpillar. Where is that located? And how does it know it's supposed to fly? And yet it does. And for those of us who begin to feel that resonance that is our evolution, and it is encoded within us, and it's encoded within us to unfurl and unfold and evolve. And I found where and how it's located within. And so I'm just learning to language it in a way others can understand this feeling of being the butterfly emerging and leaving the caterpillar to its own. Like that's the sense of this new currency, this all that's really calling us forth. And I am complete.
With that, oops. Did someone want to speak on who's on 626? Okay. This is Shelley, and hitting that space of silence where it's true, you just want to breathe it in and feel, and so that's the invitation, and it's so well worded from all of you today. This experience, because for me, it's the experience of the immersion itself, becoming conscious as it's happening, and that's what we get to do here. So with that, we like to just open it up for anyone who hasn't shared to just presence themselves. This is a public call, and so we want to just take a minute or two for do that, while the rest of us just hold the field for that. Yeah, so just for a moment or two, if anyone who hasn't shared, please feel free to share into the field and then we'll unfurl this call.
Lots of love to all. It's Donald Pett. I am complete. Have a good week, everyone.
If I may, I know I have spoken, but I have such a different way of seeing this opening and awakening and coming forth of our own inner light that I just would like to put it into the circle. My work as my mission has been to spend a lot of time in darkness, learning how to bring the light and the love into those aspects that we call dark. It's just separation from source. It's separation from our love. So as I would come out of a depression, which I've had lots of them, I began to realize that these things that I wanted to push away, these feelings that felt so awful, that I tried to push away and just let them go where they go, but they always come back. I learned to say, what is the gift? What is the gift of what is coming forth now in my consciousness? And when I am able to say, what is the gift? I know it's giving me an opportunity to shift the way I have been holding the construct of consciousness that has been eons of lifetimes. So I would just like to offer that and say thank you, everybody. I have really enjoyed and appreciated a different way of seeing things than the way I do. And so it brings more richness into where I am. And thank you, I'm complete.
Thank you. So just another moment. Anyone else wants to jump in? Anyone who's on a phone, feel free. So we always, I don't know. So we always end this call with a yummy choir. But right before we do that, I just want to share, because some people are sharing this call with other people. If you've come on this call and you haven't signed in to receive the weekly themes that we're sharing here, please go to Good of the Whole, to the Global Heart Resonance link. That would be great. And also we wanted to share that Good of the Whole is starting May 1st. We are taking this and expanding it, this experience that you're having, and it's called Love Lives Here, 40 days of reconnection with self, with each other, with the earth, and with the sacred within all life. So we invite you to come check that out. We'll be sharing it more publicly in the next week. I'm not going to say or so, next week. And yeah, so just know that that's an opportunity. So come and you can sign in for that as well. Well, we will be actually having a 20-minute resonance practice every morning, and then continuing with these calls on Monday. So thank you for joining us, and everyone can unmute yourself. And this is the fun part, radiate your light.
Oh, wait, can I say something, Shelley?
No, it's late. It's really late.
All is made new. It just came to me where it's located, and everything what we've been speaking to have come all of us together in a continuum moment that I want to share with you at some point. So let's talk. You'll understand the continuum.
Okay, yes, and we can. This is continued and continued. So continue this into your day, and we're going to just have this beautiful choir of yum. Yum. Yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
All right, we'll see you here. Feel free to email us with all those inspirations.